What up, Uneducated Duo Podcast fam? My name is Pablo,
And I'm Gerald.
and today we got a special guest.
Hello, how's it going, guys?
Again, yeah. So we had a special guest last time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, as in this is the second time on the podcast.
Yeah, two, and then you guys are doing a special podcast 2 weeks in a row too.
That's true. That's true. What episode is this? 37? And you were like one of the early ones, right?
Yeah, I think I was like 10, maybe.
Yeah.
It was back when we still kind of walked around with our heads cut off. Now we kind of know what we're doing.
With our heads cut off.
Yeah.
Like a chicken with its head cut off.
Okay, I get it. I was gonna ask. What makes him so special? And then you were like, because he's been on here twice, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess that makes him all right.
So we like to start off the episodes with a game called One Gotta Go, and we actually got a really good one this week, man. Like, I'm excited for it. Not to say that none of them, like some of them aren't good, but like.
Yeah, what are you doing, dude? You're putting bad thoughts on people. They're all good.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
They're all pretty good.
Well, this one is really good because it was my childhood, basically.
Our childhood.
All right.
Yeah.
So the one gotta go for this episode is we did Nickelodeon sitcoms. So basically shows that were on Nickelodeon, not on Nick at Night. So we didn't count things like Full House or Fresh Prince, George Lopez show. None of that's on here. We have Drake and Josh, Ned's Declassified, Keenan and Kel, and all that. So who wants to go first?
Yeah, so I guess I'll go first. So out of these four, I watched them all like about the same amount. It's kind of weird because some of the characters are, like Keenan and Kel and all that. Keenan and Kel are on all that.
Yeah.
But they also had their own spin-off shows. So
Wait. Oh, yeah. Keenan and Kel are on all that. So are Drake and Josh, though, right? Like on a later season?
I thought just Josh was.
Josh, I think. I don't remember Drake.
Yeah, I don't remember him either. Josh
For me,
really
first off the list is going to be Drake and Josh.
All right.
Like,
Nice.
It was just such a good show to me. Like their brotherhood, and there's even episodes where like they flash back to the past. I think it was just one episode where they're at like a baseball game or something.
Oh, how they first met?
Yeah, how they first technically met and fought over like a foam finger.
Yeah, but that episode doesn't come up till like way later, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, we're just excluding the future. What?
Well, no, I guess not.
Yeah, so I mean, just that part, and then kind of seeing the progression of the characters, because like Josh starts off as like this loser fat kid who like
I think he's a loser the whole time.
Like really can't get anything. No, but he progresses later on, like
Man, he gets a girlfriend.
because it turns into like Drake having like a really shitty life. Unless that's just one episode, but I remember like he got like bathed because of like a chemical bath or something, because like that was like the shittiest day of his life. And it was when Josh stopped talking to Drake, actually, because he was like toxic in his life or whatever.
We're talking about the show, right?
Megan,
not real life, because I know they like didn't they have like a Twitter feud or some shit.
Yeah, it had to do with like a wedding or something that he wasn't invited to, and like social media kind of ran with it. But and then Megan, like little sister that's always bugging them, always fucking with them. There's just so many memorable episodes too. Like the type of comedy that all these shows have, you just don't see it anymore, and it's like super exaggerated comedy where you're like, wow, that was kind of lame, but it was kind of funny at the same time, like.
I don't know why, man, but I believed the characters more. Because, like, I've seen the newer shows. Like, my brother watches some show called Kicking It something. It's like a karate show on Disney Channel, right?
Uh-huh.
And basically the kids are all, like, karate kids, and there's fight scenes and shit. But it looks so, like I don't believe the characters. I don't buy that this kid, like, can really flip the dude over his head, Where in Drake and Josh, like, they seem like they're just playing themselves in a sitcom.
Yeah. They're just natural.
Yeah, like that's what they naturally are. So like I don't know. It just seemed more.
I know it's weird because I've never seen like the newer shows, so I can't really compare it. I just know that the comedy back then was like super exaggerated, and like you didn't really notice it as a kid. Like it just seemed kind of normal because there wasn't anything different. But I mean, just the whole show. The brother thing, the stepmom and stepdad thing. That house is like iconic, and I've actually seen like people actually go to the house. Obviously, the show itself was shot on a set, but the actual house that pans at the beginning, that's like a real house somewhere that people like. I just recently saw that it was for sale or something.
Okay.
But
yeah.
I don't know. Just overall, it's a great show. I liked watching the progression of Josh gets a girlfriend, like all that stuff.
All right,
and then
so-
there was always those scenes with like the crazy guy at the theater too.
Oh yeah.
Crazy Steve. I think
Crazy
was his
Steve.
name.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, because he always worked
He was
there.
dope.
And then Wanda was always there. I don't know. Just overall, the show had like really great characters, really great storylines.
I'll
I
give
never
Drake
felt
and
like I got
Josh
bored.
credit because Drake and Josh, it like paves the way for the other shows, you know? So
Yeah.
like future shows like iCarly,
Ooh,
like
hell
they use this, they're like all in that same fucking universe, you know? Instead of Apple, they have Pear Pods,
Oh,
Pear
yeah.
phones, Pear
Yeah, yeah.
computers. And it's true of like all the shows that came out in those same years. So you have that, iCarly, Victorious,
I never watched that.
the one Zoe 101, like they all had that same universe, and they even borrowed some characters. Like Drake and Josh would make cameos in those shows,
Yeah.
like really small things, you know.
Because Drake was like a big artist in the Zoe 101
Yeah,
show.
he shows up. He's
Yeah.
basically like
He
fucking.
performs for them.
Yeah, he performs for them. So they're paving the way, bro.
It's pretty fun.
That's your number one.
Yeah, that's my number one. Just the progression of character, especially Josh, because like, you know, like I said, he was nerdy at the beginning, seemed kind of cool at the end. I mean, he was still nerdy, like his character, like his personality wise, but like physically, he wasn't that like nerdy guy that started at the very beginning. You know, even like his voice progressed and shit.
What are you going for number one, David?
For number one, I was gonna go Drake and Josh, but I think I might go Keenan and Kel. Honestly, first.
Keenan and Kel.
Hell yeah, man! Because it's like Drake and Josh. Honestly, it's like an older like show, but not gonna lie, when the end hit about how
What was the end? I don't remember it.
it's like when Keenan goes to Kel's house, I think, because isn't Kel the skinny one, the skinny dumb one, right? I always get them confused.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he leaves because like he moves away, and Keenan goes to his house. He's like, "Hey, Kel, where are you at?" He like goes to his house and it's empty and shit. Dude, that one was kind of sad. I was just like, "Oh shit."
That was the ending. I don't
Yeah.
remember the ending that specifically. I remember the show, like characters and like
the whole like them working at Good Burger and shit like that.
The classic jokes, you know, like the
Yeah.
orange soda joke.
Oh hell yeah! Who loves
She's a
someone-
dude, he's a dude.
Yeah, that shit was
thing.
dope. Yeah,
So you're on Keenan and Kel.
hell yeah, man! That shit was funny. Like all the like you said, the orange soda, the Good Burger, and then they made a movie. I never watched it, but they made a movie
The
about
Good Burger movie, you never
Yeah.
saw it? That shit was
Nah.
fucking dope, man.
Wow, and that's your number one, and you
Yeah,
never watched the show?
I never watched that
They were
movie.
good though. Like
That
as a-
movie was good, man. Like they just, I don't know. It was that same comedy like I'm talking about, like the burgers coming out all giant and shit. I was like, what the fuck?
yeah. Well, as a duo, like they're really good. But I heard that they like
in real
Had a
life.
falling out or something?
not like a total falling out, but like they both tried out for like Saturday Night Live, and obviously Kenan Thompson is
yeah.
on there now,
Yeah,
and he's been on there for fucking ever now. But Kel didn't get on there, and he still kind of works for Nickelodeon, and he does like rap shit. Have you ever seen like the Team Backpack Ciphers?
no,
Nah,
no.
They get like 4 random YouTube rappers or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and they'll put them in like to a cipher where they each do like a minute and a half like verse, and he's like the host.
is he?
Yeah, and those are dope.
That's pretty cool.
So he's like hip hop, dude. Because like when
He
they
just
went
a
on
whole different way.
yeah, when they went on Wild and Out too, he was the guy that was rapping and shit when they had
I
that,
saw
all that
one.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that too. Like Keenan's still so relevant, like because of Saturday Night Live.
Well, that was
he's
Kel.
still so-
Keenan is relevant in Saturday Night Live. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is that Keenan is still so, like so relevant?
He's still actually doing.
No, because
well in
I
the
don't think
business.
Kel's like super relevant. Like besides you telling me that right now,
Like
I thought he had just fallen off the grid. You know?
And did
Yeah.
nothing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
There are a lot of stars.
because
that
I mean, I think
happens.
Saturday Night Live is way bigger than that cipher thing he does. You know?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
For
So he
sure.
raps too. You said?
He
he hosts it.
he hosts that rap thing, and he's into hip hop. Like he's part of hip hop's world, I guess. But
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think he's like an actual rapper himself. I think
Oh,
he's just
okay.
like a dude who promotes people. You know,
Yeah,
That's pretty
yeah.
cool.
he's like, you're cool, so let me just fucking boost your shit. That's
Yeah.
the kind of stuff he does.
Yeah, which is kind of unfortunate because the way Kel like plays characters,
like
he portrays them so well. Like,
Yeah.
because I feel like every
Well, yeah,
time
he's
they
the funny
portray
guy.
Kel,
Keenan was always
he's
the
like
straight
the
man.
dumb. Yeah.
Yeah. Kel
He's
was
always like the dumb,
one.
funny guy.
All right, well,
Yeah.
let me give my first one off this list. So, dude, it's fucking tough for me because like they're all really good. I think number one, I'm going Keenan and Kel too,
Nice.
because like
nice.
it's the fucking throwback. Something about Keenan and Kel, it like really makes me think of like the early days of Nickelodeon, at least for me.
Yeah.
You know, because it was like Kenan and Kel, the Amanda Show, shit like that you would watch. And I was like, and then they were also on all that. So it was like a double dosage of both these guys being funny as fuck.
Yeah.
And just the way the characters are played. The Good Burger movie fucking is, it's not even part of Kenan and Kel. Because it's just like characters from the show in the movie, right? Like the movie, it's a standalone movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It feels like I have to include it when it comes to that.
I thought it was a part of the show. Honestly.
So I got to go Kenan and Kel number one. I think they're classic. I don't even think it ran that long, dude. You know how like when you're little, you don't even know what seasons are?
Well, yeah.
You know? So like you're just watching episodes. I had no idea that it was only 2 seasons. Let's say it's only 2 seasons, 24 episodes. I'm fucking guessing, obviously.
Yeah, but they do a lot of.
But like, if I'm watching the reruns, I'm like, damn, that show had like 80 episodes. Because I'm only fucking 10 years old. I have no fucking idea how many episodes it really had.
Yeah, just kind of an uneducated comment here. So I guess it ran for 4 years. So
what,
96 to 2000.
So 4 seasons probably.
Yeah, about 4 seasons, and
dude, that's
it's like kind of weird to me because in '96 when it started, I was 3 years old. And
well, we don't watch it till like the 2000s.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We probably watched a lot of reruns from like we never watched it when it first came out.
All right, well, you know Ed and Eddie, right?
Yeah.
The cartoon on Cartoon Network, they're hustlers and shit, right? Well, Kenan and Kel, bro, they're the original hustlers. They're always trying to make a quick buck. Like that was the whole thing. It's like Kenan's trying to make money and Kel fucks it up because he's stupid. That was like their whole dynamic.
Yeah.
So they got to go number one for me. So what's your number 2?
So my number 2, shit, man. Now I got all these thoughts in my head, but I think number 2, I'm gonna go Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide.
All right.
I don't really know why. It's hard. Man.
I know why. You're
like,
going
it was
that
such a
one.
good show.
Crabgrass. That's why.
When we were
what the hell?
When we were younger, like. Just like shit that went on in school, they just like portrayed it so exaggeratingly well, you know?
Yeah,
like
on point.
Yeah, and
did they ever have fucking homework in that show, or did they ever even show like a real lesson? I feel like it was always just fucking bullshit.
I don't feel like they were ever even in class. It was always like in the halls.
In the halls.
Shit.
Yeah, like it was either in the halls or like at the very last 3 minutes of class when they're walking out of class, right?
Yeah, and they portrayed like the different social classes in like school really well. Like there was jocks, there was like a nerdy kid, coconut head who was always getting picked on.
Fucking coconut head, dude. That's the worst haircut ever, bro.
Yeah, and then the whole little like love triangle thing with like Ned, Mosby. Is it Mosby? Fuck.
Well, they call her Mose. I don't know if her full name is Mosby.
Fucking,
I think that's for fucking the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
And what's her face too? Fucking Susie Crabgrass, which is always like she was portrayed as that girl like. You know, the popular girl.
Dude, Susie Crabgrass was the shit.
Yeah. And then even like
funny.
Just overall, just a good show. And I liked how like they would break down like the lessons of what the declassified guide had, you know, like they'd stop the show in the middle. Or even when like Ned would like talk straight into the camera, you know, like
they would break the fourth wall.
Yeah. So I really like that sort of like
interaction
with like the viewer and stuff. And the content wasn't bad. Like, what was the other friend's name? Simon, looks like.
Yeah, the guy with the glasses.
With the glasses, right?
Yeah. He's always like the super smart one, and then like I could kind of relate to him because anytime he was nervous, you'd see like all his sweat coming down his face, and that's like the way I am. Anytime I get nervous, like you just see sweat coming down my face, and
that show was so
just, like,
exaggerated,
good characters
bro.
overall, yeah.
But
I feel like all sitcoms in the '90s and 2000s were like that, man. Like
all the like shit you saw on Disney Channel or Nickelodeon, but like a regular sitcom, I feel like the 90s and the early 2000s or whatever, it was like super family based because you had shit like Full House where like I was learning lessons about life.
Yeah, that was way more real, man. Way
Fresh
more
Prince, or why doesn't he love me? That shit gets fucking real.
Yeah.
And these shows are the ones where like you watch shit like this and
it's just relatable to regular life exaggeratedly.
Yeah, you watch like an Even Stevens and you're like, fuck yeah, dude. Like this kid likes bacon. I like this fucking kid. You remember the bacon kid from Even Stevens?
I don't.
No,
the little
really.
he's the ugly ass looking little kid.
Isn't it his
neighbor? The neighbor who's always over there.
But yeah, man, number 2 for me has got to be Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. I really liked like the cinematic portion of it, like how they stop a scene and they talk, and you know, the kid who has the crush on the girl, but really his best friend has a crush. Like, I feel like that kind of is where that started, or that's where the first.
Let's be real. Let's be real. No one's picking Mose over Susie Crabgrass, bro.
I don't remember Susie.
Back in the
Susie
day,
Crabgrass.
Susie Crabgrass was the shit. She's the girl on The Walking Dead now. She's
Rosita. She's on The Walking Dead. Yeah.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah, bro, that's her, dude. She be fucking shit up now with zombies. So
she's actually I'm not even gonna say that. Fuck
Moses garbage, bro.
No, I was gonna say she was actually on the Twilight series too.
Oh, was she?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I haven't seen that, but what's your second one?
Second one, I'm gonna have to go with Drake and Josh because,
all right,
like Pablo said, a lot of like the really good points. The brotherly love is really cool. The fact that Megan just like makes their life a living hell is pretty fucking funny because that just reminds me of Ashley, my little sister.
Okay.
Like she would always like be like, "Oh my god, David's doing this!" Like going telling on me and shit like that.
That's bullshit, dude. Getting told on is bullshit.
Yeah. She wasn't even really telling, man. She was like handling business herself.
Or that, like that's what my sister would end up doing. Like she would just take matters into her own hands. Like, and all of the pranks that they would do was pretty fucking funny. But seeing Josh go from like a loser to like actually being like a manager, I think, at the end of the show is
at
pretty
the
cool.
theater.
Yeah,
but
theater.
his fucking boss doesn't even like him in the show. It's like a running joke, right? She loves Drake, but she hates Josh.
Yeah. But like, I mean, still, like, just his whole progression, like he's saying, you know, like
it like takes.
He
time.
started as like the fucking popcorn sweeper or whatever.
Yeah,
ended up being manager.
Yeah, and then like I remember like one of the episodes he didn't even work there. Like she just like was like, oh, I guess you can just like work here, I guess, because he's always there all the time.
Yeah.
And then he was actually pretty big when he first started, and then he started actually getting pretty skinny and fit like towards the end of it.
Yeah, and I wonder if that was like a part of the show or him like personally
just wanting to do
bro,
it.
That's a fucking life choice, bro. That's him going to the doctor at like 16, and they're like, "All right, you're at risk. It's time to work out."
Yeah.
Dog.
I don't know, especially when you're like because they're celebrities at this point.
I think it ruined his career
because
like
you can
when
make
he
things.
became skinny.
Yeah, well, he's not super skinny or anything but when he got fit, right?
Yeah,
I think it kind of deterred his career because he was so like classified as the fat role. You know, he like all his big movies when he's younger. Because he's in big movies and he's in all those shows. Because he's in Max Keeble's Big Move.
Oh, yeah.
He's in, what other little kid movie is he in? I can't remember exactly which one, but he's always been like the fat, funny kid, right? Even in Drake and Josh, he starts off as like the fat, funny kid.
Yeah.
And in Hollywood, I'm not in Hollywood, obviously, but I think in Hollywood, they typecast you and then you're kind of fucked.
Yeah, like you're just basically that your entire life.
Because have you seen him in anything else now? Anything relevant?
No.
I mean, he's like done cameos in some shows, but
and he's like in a lot of vlogs with
it's not like shit we know, but
he's in YouTube.
He's still like relevant, man. Like I think he's more relevant than Drake.
Oh yeah, than Drake.
Yeah, and just because of like the ties he's made,
because Drake looks like somebody took a vacuum to his face, dude. He got old as hell looking.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like he still looks the same, to be honest, but it's just because of David Dobrik, to be honest.
That you know about Josh.
Because if I didn't watch David Dobrik, I wouldn't know what the fuck he's doing, you know?
Yeah.
And that's basically what I know him from. But he's turned into a YouTuber, vlogger.
Yeah, he's his own.
Shit too,
he does his own shit. He does the stupid mukbangs that people watch. People watch like other people eat burgers, and I'm like, all right.
Yeah, because he's reunited like Megan and fucking Drake. They've all reunited on David Dobrik's vlog.
All right,
I saw that.
Your show, you went Keenan and Kel, then Ned's Declassified? No, you went Keenan and Kel, Drake and Josh.
Yep.
All right, let me give my second one. Out of these four, number 2 for me, Drake and Josh.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's Drake and Josh for the reasons we've obviously all said already.
Yeah.
And because I feel like it was the show. It was the show, the only show. Like, that's the show kids talked about when you fucking watch Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Like, if you went to recess the next day and you didn't watch the Drake and Josh, and you were a piece of shit. Because it was dope.
Everyone talked about it.
Yeah, everybody talked about that show. Paved the way for the other shows. They have so many moments. Like, there's things in these old shows that we don't realize until we're adults like we are now, right? I'm fucking 28. And there's, like, adult jokes. If you rewatch an episode, you'll see adult jokes, and you're like, "Oh, okay,
that's what that meant."
Yeah, that's what that meant back then. That makes so much more sense to me now. So, I don't know. I liked the show. I thought it was funny. I think it beats out Ned's Declassified and all that because all that is like sketch comedy, and and Ned's Declassified was really different from anything I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So Drake and Josh, dude, it's like I almost wanted to take it over Kenan and Kel, but I felt like Kenan and Kel was just a little bit more legendary.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like if you ask anybody my fucking age, like, hey, what show was the shit on Nickelodeon? Just randomly as hell. If I make one of those videos like the YouTubers who are like, what'd you do this weekend? Or like, are you smarter than a fifth grader? Like that bullshit, you know, the ones they do.
Yeah.
I'd be like, best show on Nickelodeon right now. Drake and Josh. I feel like that's the go-to answer. And you know what makes me laugh a lot is that people on Nickelodeon or Disney, they all think they can fucking be music stars.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Right? Because like, I have never listened to Drake's music.
Neither have I. I mean, it's funny. I think you can look him up on like Spotify and shit.
I'm sure he's on there because he had a band, but like I don't fuck with the music from these
maybe
shows.
if he rapped, you'd listen to him. I don't know.
Good point.
Because his music is kind of like
rock. It's like punk rock. Pop
rock.
It's
like rock or something. I don't even know. Like that's how much I don't know about his music.
So for me, Drake and Josh number 2, and I think the main reason that I give them number 2 is just because they're, for me, a slightly worse pairing than Kenan and Kel were. I feel like Kenan and Kel like accentuated each other's strengths super well, and so do Drake and Josh, but they're just a little bit below what Kenan and Kel were for me. But they're just a good duo, bro. You can't fuck with a good duo. Batman and Robin.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Superman and his fist.
No one can pair with Superman, apparently.
Well, yeah. Well, he doesn't have. Does he have a sidekick? Is there a Superman sidekick?
No.
That's what I'm saying. So just, it's a good pair, bro. So that's my number 2. What do you got number 3?
I got number 3 here. So just kind of to summarize, I went Drake and Josh first, Ned's Declassified second.
Yeah, you got Kenan and Kel and
all that, and Kenan and Kel left. And to be quite honest, like, it's not really hard for me at all. I'm gonna go with all that, just because with all that
you're keeping, right?
Yeah, I'm keeping all that because with all that, you get Kenan and Kel plus some.
Okay, yeah, and you get plus.
I mean, a lot of the comedy that happened on Kenan and Kel, they had on all that too. With those two characters, like they kind of kept their sitcoms going on there or whatever. Yeah. I don't know how it went, to be honest, but I was just kind of looking up the cast of all that because I was like, damn, there was a lot of people on there, you know?
Yeah, they had a lot of kids.
They had Nick Cannon on there.
Yeah, he was one of the writers too.
Amanda Bynes, who's like crazy now.
Oh yeah, the Amanda show.
And there's even faces as I'm looking on the list that I recognize.
Yeah, there's the chubby chick whose name I don't remember. There's the dude who was always the cop.
I never liked her.
Denberg, which even if we say names, we're not going to know who they are. But looking at their faces, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I remember that person and that person. The skits, man. Like looking back at it now, it's like the kids' version of SNL.
It really is, dude. It's like kids' Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. And to be honest, if I watch them both now, I would probably enjoy them both equally because SNL covers a lot of adult topics.
Yeah.
And all that does a really great job at covering like just like funny, normal day interactions, you know? And Kenan and Kel it didn't stick in my head very much. Like I remember the Good Burger skits and like the gas station skits.
Dude, they're paving the way for Black America, man. What are you talking about?
But I mean, I feel like all that is like a way, way better show. Right. I mean, if we're talking valid. Black America, Bill Cosby,
it's valid.
Show,
it's your opinion.
You know,
Price of Prince, yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like I'm getting way more with all that with these last two choices. Out of the 4, I feel like they're the most similar as far as sitcom goes because it was like an audience type sitcom where like it started off as like a curtain
opening
and somebody coming out and like, oh, let's go ahead and start off with the show, you know?
Like skits, basically.
Yeah, basically. So they were way too similar to me, and I feel like I get more from all that than Kenan and Kel. So I'm keeping all that, getting rid of Kenan and Kel.
All right. Well, what about you, David? What do you got?
I'm kind of shocked, but at the same time, like his points were pretty good. I still got all that and Ned's Declassified left. This one, I don't know. It's pretty tough, but I think I might have to keep all that and get rid of Ned's Declassified because I vaguely remembered Ned's Declassified as much.
I'm gonna give you the best scene right now, straight off the top of my head.
Okay, what is it?
It's the dodgeball scene when he's all like, to get somebody out in dodgeball, you gotta throw one thing up really high, right? So then one kid throws a dodgeball up, and then the second kid comes in and fucking rams someone in the face with the other one. I did that shit to somebody with
You did that to me when we went to go play. I remember that shit.
I've done that a lot, and I learned it from that show. Like, I throw something in the air, and the people go and look up, right? And then I fucking deck them in the face with the other thing in my hand.
He didn't deck me in the face, but
that's
pretty much the
usually
same thing. Yeah. But, yeah, I'm just going to keep all that because, like he says, it's... I don't know, the cast, there's a lot more, obviously, but you got, like, Amanda Bynes, who later on does her own show, but she was pretty funny. I always remember her as like that old grandma, honestly. Yeah.
With the fucked up teeth.
Yeah.
I didn't like that other girl, that like chubby girl. I don't know why. She just like kind of pissed me off all the time.
I liked her, man. I liked her character. Like,
it's because she was always the cop. I think that's why she like kind of pissed me off. I was like, she doesn't really compare to Keenan and Kel and fucking Amanda. And I vaguely remember Drake being in there. I think he was, wasn't he? Like a few times. Yeah. I don't remember Nick Cannon though. That's what's fucking weird.
Yeah, he used to dress
a writer.
as women.
He was on it a lot, and then he also became a writer later.
He used to dress like as a woman and like act really exaggerated in the freaking the convenience store, man. I don't know.
You haven't seen their background? Like apparently him and Keenan were like homies, and they used to like live together and hang out all the time. And then they got on all that.
Show?
Yeah,
I think they still are. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Crazy because they're still so relevant, you know.
So you're taking all that over Ned's Declassified?
Yeah.
All right. I did not see that coming.
How are you gonna survive school without that?
Honestly, I think I did survive school without watching it that much. Like,
no, for real. Like Ned's Declassified didn't teach you anything, to be honest.
Not real survival.
Great thing. Yeah.
Not real survival. All right. Well, I guess it's my turn. I have all that and Ned's Declassified left. I'm taking Ned's Declassified. All that was good, but the thing with like sketch comedy shows that is like their weakness is that the sketches are never as strong as other sketches, right? So you'll watch an episode and only one sketch stands out. Only that one segment was good enough for me to remember. Yeah. Where like you watch an episode of Ned's Declassified and it's like a story being told through the episode, so you remember the whole episode, right? Mm-hmm. So I have problems with like all that because there's certain characters I don't like Amanda Bynes, although she had the grandma thing, and I'm pretty sure that was on her own show.
I thought that was her.
But on all, I don't even remember if it was on all that. But like, you know what the best thing of all that for me was? What? You know, before the show would start, every episode before the show started, they had that little scene where like they're all kicking it in like what was perceived to be the backstage room where they hang out. But it was really just another skit about the show. That was the best part. Like, that shit was nice. I like that. It always made me laugh. But when I put it up against Ned's Declassified, I mean, Susie Crabgrass, bro. That's like,
oh my god,
Susie Crabgrass was like one of my crushes when I was a kid, bro. I remember it, and I was like, dude, yes. Like, there was you got the pink Power Ranger. You got the pink Power Ranger, bro. Kimberly. If she wasn't your first crush, then I don't know who the fuck you are, bro. And then you had Susie Crabgrass, and then you had pretty much
Topanga.
Topanga. And then you got Zoe from Zoe 101. You got whatever Victoria Justice's character's name was in Zoe 101. And that was, Nickelodeon had, those are the girls you had crushes on back in the day, bro. So I got to go Ned's Declassified. All that didn't have any cute girls back then.
No.
I'm shocked, bro, that you kept that Keenan and Kel over all that. You know, I respect it, but it almost feels like you got some nachos, but you only got the chips and you left the cheese and all the rest out, you know?
No, it's like this. This is what it's more like. It's more like a steak coming out to me medium rare and delicious.
Yeah, right? I don't know.
And for you, it's well done.
It's just different. It's the same, but just like different kind of
thing. No, well, it's just that on all that they were younger, right? And I think they come into their own on Keenan and Kel. They're like full teenagers already, and like can play off better because they've been in the business longer. I don't know.
It's kind of like a starting point for all them because like we talked about like all that spun out to be Keenan and Kel and also the Amanda Show, which I confused the skits because they were so similar, man. Because
I'm pretty sure the characters cross over.
Even as we're talking right now, there was a skit that they did at a Blockbuster, but they called it Blockbuster or whatever.
Oh yeah,
and they'd give like really crappy movies out where they were like.
It was like the mom and dad.
I wanted Titanic and you gave me this. And they're like, I don't know.
I don't remember if that's Amanda Show or all that either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's hard to
Drake's in that one.
Get it all together.
All right, well, let me just summarize real quick. Out of these four, I got rid of all that. You got rid of
Keenan and Kel,
and you got rid of
Ned's Declassified.
Oh, damn. So it was pretty diverse.
Yeah.
All right, well, we got to cut to an ad real quick.
All right.
All right, and we're back. And after the one gotta go, which was really, really diverse. Usually we end up with a lot of the same answers, but we all had different opinions this time, which was pretty surprising.
Yeah.
Now we're going to talk about some of the stuff we saw on the internet that we found interesting, funny, relates to our fucking daily life, I guess.
Yeah.
But before we do that, though, I wanted to talk about how Halloween had just passed, right?
Thank you. Yeah, I was going to go there.
Halloween first, right? So I wanted to say Halloween just passed, and it's one of my favorite fucking holidays. I've always been into the whole costume thing.
Yeah.
And I was curious, like, what's one of your best Halloween memories, or one of the coolest things you've done on Halloween? Just something that really sticks out to you. It could be fucking super recent, super old, whatever. I can go first if you guys want time to think.
No, to be honest, like, this Halloween was the best one I've ever had, to be honest.
This recent one? Why?
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you have kids? Like
I already had kids.
Well, now you have 3, though.
And it makes it great. Kids make it great, you know, because,
you can dress
I mean,
them
even
up.
though we didn't go trick-or-treating this year, we went to, like, parties and shit, and we even threw our own party.
Right, yeah. That was
And
dope. I was there.
It was just such a good party, man. Like, it was chill. Everybody was having fun. Everybody was dressed up. Like, there was very few people at that party not dressed up. Like,
Nice.
I think there was maybe like 1 or 2.
Yeah, bro, that's weak sauce, bro. Who comes to the Halloween party not in a costume? You might as well be that person everybody's going to stare at the whole night.
Yeah, I mean, at least lie and say you're something, you know?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, like-
I mean, how hard is it to put on like a red shirt and be like, yo, I'm Jake from State Farm?
Yeah. But, I mean, it was just such a cool vibe, and the kids had fun. The adults had fun. Like, and then my mother-in-law threw because this was a week before Halloween.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then another one, my mother-in-law threw a party the week after, which was yesterday, as of this recording, which is Saturday, Halloween. And it was a pretty chill vibe too. And my costume this year was actually the best costume I've ever had.
You were a Jedi, right?
Yeah, I was a Jedi, and I had like the whole robe and everything. The only thing I was missing was like boots. And then my son was like Baby Yoda, so it was pretty cool.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
What about you, David? You want me to say something so you can think of something, or what?
I got one, but
All right, let's hear it.
it's kind of like I love that whole atmosphere, like going to parties. This year I didn't do anything because
Like you like going to like the family party, or like going to like the crazy ass like woo party?
I like to do both, honestly. Just like being around people, seeing everyone's like costumes and everything. That's pretty cool. Didn't go this year because I had to work the next day. It's unfortunate, but I have a story. Me and my buddies, this was back when I was in Weezer, would dress up and go around and play ding dong ditch on a lot of people.
Right.
And there was this one person we knew, and she was really cool with us, but she didn't know that we were going to her house. And we all just like rang on our doorbell, and we even knew where her room was because like we've been in her house since.
Okay, so she's your age, right?
Yeah, she's our age. And like we knew her house. We've been in there several times. Her parents are cool with us, but we rang the doorbell. We all had like scary costumes on. Go to her window, and like she opens the door. Then she comes back in her room. We like are just right there with our fucking faces in her window. And she just freaks the fuck out. And she calls her dads, and then we just leave. Then we like
Alright.
send her a message, and it was like,
That it was you guys?
Yeah,
Bro, I'm laughing because when I picture you ding dong ditching in Weezer,
it's like two
I picture
houses.
I picture like a house here. You ring the doorbell, and then you got to run 2 miles to the next house.
No,
Really? I picture like 3 houses. I pictured 3 houses in his little neighborhood, right? It's like he knocked on the house and then ran across the street to his house.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only
just
place
for
to go.
cover.
Yeah.
Because whenever I drive through Weezer, it's like, which actually I've never driven through the actual city, but the outskirts.
There's
Yeah.
no city.
Like you see,
Yeah, there
you
is.
see like a house and then a bunch of land and then the next house. So I just picture like David knocking on the door and running like 2 miles.
To his next house. Fuck, bro.
No, it's
Oh, well,
not
that's
like
pretty
that.
dope. So at least you told her, dude, because you can't just do that shit and leave.
Yeah,
Then it's like,
Leaves mystery.
yeah. What's her dad supposed to do in that one? Like fucking go buy padlocks for the window or some shit?
At the fucking fair, she's like, "Which one of you 20 little bastards did it?"
No.
That's creepy, man. All right, well, I got a couple good Halloween stories. This one, I don't even know if these were the same Halloween, maybe different Halloweens. And I might have told one of these before because I thought it was hilarious. So here it is again. One Halloween, we went trick-or-treating and we were across the street from where I live, and we knock on this door, right?
Mm-hmm.
No one, first of all, when a house has lights on, like unwritten rule, you know, they're going to give you candy.
Yeah.
Like house lights off, unwritten rule, they're probably not going to give you candy. But this house is fucking lit up. Not with decorations, but it's like lit up. Like I can fucking see through the window. There's people there. Fucking dude sitting on the couch. Like some Adam Sandler shit in that movie, you know, when he scares the Halloween guy. because he doesn't want to give his kid candy.
Here, take my watch. He's not happy. He's not happy.
Yeah, like that. So we knock, nothing happens. We knock, no candy. My friend Diego, who's been on the podcast, decides to pick up a can of spray paint because this dude has a can of spray paint right there. Right?
Okay, yeah.
And then he spray paints something on something. I don't know if I'm going to get him in trouble for this, so I don't want to be that specific.
You're pretty fucking specific, bro.
I know.
Well, whatever.
His name.
Whatever. He fucking spray paints on this RV, right?
Mhm.
And at first, me and Johnny, my other friend Johnny, who are with him, we're like, "Oh shit, dude, what are you doing? Trick or treat's a lie, bro. You don't really do shit to people." So he does it. We all run away. You know, great experience. Later on, it's a story that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Different Halloween, I think. A foreign exchange kid named Juan hangs out with us, right? Speaks English, but like not great. We're like his only friends because he's from Mexico. Just instant bond because we're Mexican.
Yeah.
We take him trick-or-treating and we go to this house that's like super decorated, like fucking big ass inflatable ghost, pumpkin path all the way leading up to the door. But the house right before had told us that the person who lives there has gotten in trouble for like doing things with underage kids. Like he's a pedo, bro.
Damn.
Right? And like that could have also just been the guy next door fucking with us, right? We don't really know if he is. But we're like, "Hey, Juan, go knock on that door and ask for the candy." And he's just like big old smile, like, "All right, I'll go do it, whatever." So like, oh man, we're just laughing our ass off because we basically almost sent this dude as like a treat
For the person.
and the guy. If it's true. And even if it's not, you know, like they put that thought in your head and you're like, look at this guy's house. It's the most fucking decorated house on the block. Like he's out on the hunt. He's on the prowl. He's trying to get kids in the door. So, so when he came back, we all had a good laugh. We were like, "Oh shit, bro. You know what that dude told us? He told us that guy likes little boys and, you know, just gave him shit for the rest of the year he was in America."
Jesus.
So you guys told him that after?
Yeah, we told him after. We didn't tell him before. He's not going to go up there.
No, yeah. But, you know, I probably wouldn't have told him ever.
Oh, ever?
Like later down the road.
Well, I haven't seen him ever again. You know, foreign exchange kids just leave. And back then, MySpace was the big thing, and MySpace is gone now.
Oh, yeah.
So I have no real way to contact him ever.
Yeah. That's a good one.
So, those are two cool, dope Halloween things that I saw. But something I heard of on the internet was apparently there was a Halloween party, and I don't know if out of excitement or to make the party better, somebody took out a gun and like shot into the air a couple of times.
Jesus.
Right? And I know you see that in like movies and shit where like people are celebrating. They're like, "Oh yeah," and then they shoot the gun off into the air.
Yeah, they're drunk or something.
Yeah, whatever the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
But like at a Halloween party, it seems like an not appropriate time to shoot some dude's ceiling.
It's kind of freaky too, because like what people never think about is like that bullet's got to come down, you know. Because I've heard that like you shoot a gun up and then the bullet has to come down. You know, you don't know where that shit's gonna hit.
Well, also, like, I don't know where it was, but imagine, like, they're in an apartment building, right?
Oh, God.
And they're on the first floor, and he's shooting up into the second floor.
Jesus
that's some, like, intense shit thinking about that.
I just saw that, and I thought it was another weird Halloween story.
That's pretty intense, though, because, like, one, you don't really think anything of it, because it's like, oh, like, whatever, and, like, people are just having fun, and then, two, like, there's kids around.
They're stupid. Like, first of all, in your head, how do you think, oh, let me shoot this gun, which is going to be loud?
Yeah.
And what's he going to think? Everybody in the party's just going to be like, yeah. Did you hear that?
You know what? I'm okay with it depending on what his costume was. Was he a sheriff? Was he a dinosaur? Like,
was the gun appropriate to what he was wearing? Is the only question I ask.
Nah, I'm just fucking with you. That's like, why the fuck would you bring a real gun to the party? I don't understand that.
Trying to go above and beyond with his costume, I guess.
All right, well, definitely that story beat out our stories, I think.
Yeah, because ours are humble, bro. Ours are like what you do on a normal day. It's not like, I don't even have a gun.
Nah, I don't even own one either.
All right,
I own guns. But
let's move on from Halloween then into some of this other weird shit we see on the internet and we found interesting. Pablo brought up earlier Jorge Masvidal, the UFC fighter. If you haven't heard of him, he's the dude that knocked that one guy out in like 3 seconds with like a fucking flying knee. And he's like a badass apparently in the UFC. Everybody respects him and shit in the UFC. apparently he's like the most mega Latino Trump supporter in the world, and he went on like this big public rant at like a news conference, I think it was, right?
Yeah, it looks like a news conference for like one of his fights, and I watched it and I was like, what the fuck?
This is especially hurtful for my man Pablo because he's talked about how he really hates Trump, and he's brought up specifically points from like the Latino community.
Yeah.
And then this guy supports him.
Like, I really don't believe in Latinos for Trump. Like, that's like something that is, it doesn't click in my brain, you know? So when I saw Jorge Masvidal or whatever talking about it, I was like, it triggered me, to be honest. I was triggered because he starts talking about how like the Democratic Party just wants to use us as like a pawn. But it kind of makes me think too, like Trump used that as one of his ads for his campaign because it's on his official Facebook.
Yeah.
Him talking about how we have to keep America gray. And I'm like, what the fuck? He's locking up our children in cages and shit. And you're over here talking about that. I don't know. It was just like a thing that caught me off guard. I had mentioned it to Gerald. I showed him the video.
Yeah, I saw it.
I mean, I posted something about it, and then somebody responded to me like through our group chat, and they said, you know, of course anybody making over 400,000 is gonna be okay with Trump, you know.
Well, yeah, because he doesn't tax you as much,
you know, because under Republican presidents, usually you pay a lot less tax if you're rich. And under Democratic presidents, you pay a lot more tax if you're rich. So, yeah, and then it kind of got us into a conversation where we're like, you know, I'd like to think if I made over 400,000, I'd fucking keep to my morals or whatever and values. But you just never know, man. That just really caught me off guard, and I was like, damn.
Well, I heard David was a Latino for Trump.
No, I'm not.
Let's get his side of the fight.
I am totally not. Let's be real here. I fucking hate Trump. The Republican Party, I hated for a majority of my life. There was 2 years, 2012, 2014.
Are your parents like political?
Yeah.
Like, do they put those kinds of ideas in your head? Like talk to you about voting and shit?
They more like just wanted me to like believe in my own thing. They wanted me to just do my own thing. But I know for sure that they're in like a Democratic Party.
All right.
And they're open-minded as well as me, but they never once believed that the Republican Party was good at all. And for me,
the current one, right? Like Trump.
Well, just in general, like
just in general, like
yeah,
through the years.
Yeah, through the years,
Okay.
they've always been like Democratic Party all the way. But for me, I did want to vote for who went against Obama again the first time.
McCain.
Oh, that was Romney.
Oh, no, I don't fucking know, dude. The first person who went up against him in the actual election?
Yeah. I thought it was
McCain.
It was McCain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then the second one,
it was Mitt Romney, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I would try to vote for him because I thought the Republican Party at that point was really good. But now the Republican Party is just trying to literally screw us all over.
Which, to be honest, back then when they were running, like, I wasn't really politically driven. Like,
yeah.
I think I was just getting out of high school and I was like...
Yeah, it was when we were literally our first year.
I didn't really give a shit about politics, but now that I do, you know, I'm with him. Like, I try to look at both sides, and if I cared more about politics back then, I probably would have voted for McCain or
Romney.
Romney, because I've seen them both do...
like speeches.
I don't want to talk about it being courage because it's not.
Well, you can't vote for either of them anyway unless you register Republican.
You know, you can vote for them in the general election. You just can't vote for them in the.
Oh, you mean when they were up against Obama? I thought you were talking about primaries.
Yeah. No, primaries, because I don't think they ever ran against each other, if I remember correctly. But again, wasn't very politically drawn at all. But this is a good topic to talk about right now because as of the releasing of this podcast, people are voting.
Yeah, that's true.
I haven't voted yet, but I'm gonna, I'm also not. I wasn't politically charged ever. I'm not really in that sphere of the world.
Yeah.
But when we think of, okay, so Trump's first election, right? Mm-hmm. When I was starting to look at it more, and it was obviously more as a joke to me too, because I was like, oh, Trump's running, and I would watch some debates just to see him kind of be a retard.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to say whatever. I said the word retard already. But I watched mainly because I thought it was like a joke, right? And you think, oh, he's not going to be president. And then he ends up being president. And then I get more actively involved in what's happening. I'm like more curious about real life shit.
Yeah.
Right. So like now I actually look into it because I'm curious about what people were going to do and stuff. But back then I didn't give a crap. You know, I'm 24. No. Yeah, I'm 24, 23, you know. During their campaigns, I moved out. I'm having fun with my friends. Politics really didn't mean shit to me.
Yeah, it didn't cross your mind
at all. So, like, I mean, Trump kind of, although I'm not going to vote for him personally, his involvement in it kind of pushed me into learning more about what's actually going on.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's kind of crazy because, like, I was watching this video and it was talking about how, like, there was this guy, he does, like, these minute documentaries on Facebook, I think it is. And he went to a Trump rally. He went to a Marco Rubio rally, Ted Cruz rally. And he said they all had one thing in common, except for the Trump rally, was that they were all pretty boring. And Trump, like, he puts on a show.
It's like a party.
Yeah, because he's like, if we could find a Democratic nominee that has the same sort of energy or vibe, you know, like, they'd be unstoppable because people really, it's like almost a cult following, man. It's crazy.
It is.
Like,
feels like it.
All the people who watch The Apprentice.
And to be honest, it feels kind of weird because when I think of Republican, I think of the word conservative, obviously.
Yeah.
And conservative to me means reserved. And he's like the complete opposite, you know? He's like that ant that'll just tell you whatever they're fucking thinking at your party, you know?
Yeah, right. Because where the drama comes from.
Yeah, basically. Because, like, you know, there's shit that you think in your head, but you don't say it out loud because obviously it's not like socially right or just, you know? But
I struggle with that.
But he's like out there just saying whatever fucking comes to his head, like the coronavirus, which I'm surprised China hasn't given more backlash about, but he called it the China virus.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So I mean, just a lot of points there and a lot of craziness. Like, still to this day, like. So I just wanted to bring up the whole Latinos for Trump thing again because there's this lady on TikTok. Her name's La Güera Trump 2020 or something.
Right.
So that just basically means, like, because she's light-skinned, she's calling herself light-skinned in Trump 2020, but she's, like, Mexican, came here through, like, whatever visa or whatever. So I was, like, interacting in her chat, and I was like, so what's a Trump policy you like? What's a Trump policy you like? I spammed it in her chat.
Yeah. Right.
Because I was like, I wanted to hear it for real.
He wanted all the sauce, bro. He's in there for the heat.
And so she had, like, enough time to respond to all the criticism of her because they kept telling her, you know, you got a cactus on your front, which is like a saying that Hispanic people say when, like, people forget their roots and stuff.
Okay.
And she wouldn't give me an answer. She's like, I already talked about it at the beginning. I'm not going to bring it up again. I'm like, well, you got time to respond to all these negative comments.
That's how you get more views, bro. You got to be like, go look at the beginning. Replay that shit a couple times.
Yeah. But TikToks, you can't even play when they're live because she did live.
You can't?
Live. No.
All right, well.
But yeah, anyways, that's all the politics stuff I think we're going to talk about this episode. Anything else going on in the world, man?
Yeah, dude, because I'm kind of sick of the Trump stuff, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, so, well, he's a shit talker. Deontay Wilder, if you know who that is, the boxer, heavyweight, the big dude who wore, like, the fucking black skull thing and got his ass beat by Tyson Fury.
Yeah, okay.
He's been talking mad shit on the internet. He's talking all this shit because he wants a third fight, right? Because obviously he wants his title back.
Yeah.
After, like, a professional boxer loses, these guys obviously have the biggest egos in the world. Yeah. You lose, you're like, oh, that was bullshit. Round 2, you know? But these guys are going on round 3, and he wants his rematch, and they're not giving him to him. And it spun out. Apparently he's got a rivalry with a fucking Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's like 50 years old, bro. Yeah. Right? How old is that fool?
I'm pretty sure he's like 50, almost 60 now.
Yeah, it's like kind of young boxer has a fucking rivalry with some old dude. That makes no sense to me.
Well, he is a legend, though. Like
Mike Tyson?
Yeah, when it comes to the boxing.
Well, yeah, I know he's a legend, and maybe, like, they're so cocky they think they can beat him because he talks about beating him. And I just thought it was interesting because, like, I watched the fight where he lost, and he gets his ass beat.
Yeah, I guess Mike Tyson's 54 years old, and I get Mike Tyson and that guy that fought that, like, one-hit wonder guy. You know, the Hispanic guy that beat that really good boxer? I forgot his freaking name, man.
I have no idea.
Josh something. But I get them both mixed up. But Deontay Wilder's a huge guy, man.
Yeah, he's huge. But this is a heavyweight. They're giant
Because
guys.
I watched this video of, like, this troll boxer that's always trying to, like, fight everybody. And he, like, got in Deontay Wilder's face. And it's like a like squishing a bug, bro. Like Deontay Wilder's a massive man, and I don't feel like Tyson Fury. He's like a very big guy.
He's huge too, but he's not as tall, and he's like,
not as stacked, right?
He's also
like,
he's like blubbery, you know.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
got that fat to like protect him. He doesn't have like the 12 pack that's growing a 12 pack underneath his 6 pack.
Jeez.
So he was just talking smack, wanting a third fight. I don't know, man. They all have been in Tyson Fury's.
No, first fight was a tie. Second fight, Tyson won, and then they won a third fight.
Damn, that's hard, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd understand if it was like Tyson, but if it was like Tyson, maybe a third one is called for. But then they'll call for a fourth one if fucking
they're just gonna keep
Deontay
going.
Wilder wins, you know.
They're gonna keep going until like he gets the results he wants, or one of them does.
Yeah. At some point, you just gotta say, nah, I'm cool with that. You know?
Once you're the champ, bro, I feel like you got the power. You're like, listen, bro, I don't want to give you another fight. You can fuck off. You know, I want to make millions of dollars wearing my nice shiny ass belt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would I want the L? You know, the possible L when I'm already on top.
Yeah,
no one's looking for the L, bro. No one.
Yeah, that's true. But to call out Mike Tyson or say that shit is just like kind of like, what the fuck?
He's about to fight, dude. Mike Tyson's gonna fight Roy Jones Jr., I think.
Oof.
And they're like, how would you say he was? 54?
54.
Yeah, they're gonna fight each other, and it's gonna be like a big deal. They've been training. Like, obviously, they can still box because like they did it for a lot of their life, right?
Yeah.
But like, there's got to be like some mental.
It was kind of funny,
like physical dangers, you know. Like, what if you hit him in the head and now he's got Alzheimer's or some shit? They're old, dude.
Possibly dies.
I remember watching a thing where like Roy Jones Jr. like wanted to back out of the fight because Mike Tyson is just a crazy motherfucker, to be honest. Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I respect him. I think he's the shit.
I think Roy Jones Jr. I don't know. Personally, I never watched any boxing growing up, but I think Roy Jones Jr. was a lot better. I think. On paper, I'm pretty sure it's Mike Tyson.
On paper, Chavez is the greatest fighter ever.
Well, no, I meant like between the two.
Like technique-wise?
Well, no, like
all right,
wins
dude,
and record-wise.
Let's speak the truth about boxing. The only time I watch boxing, first of all, there's got to be a Mexican in the fight.
Yeah.
And the only person I root for is that Mexican in the fight. And like, how much do I know about him? Nothing. How much do like boxing is racist as fuck. Like, you go to the fight, your parents like buy the pay-per-view, everybody's rooting for the Mexican guy. And so like as a kid, you're like, fuck yeah, the Mexican guy, whoever he is.
Yeah. And
you root for that guy through the years, even until now. Like,
is that the right word, racist?
Racist? Yeah, bro. Because like
I watch very proud, I would say. Like,
yeah,
it's okay, proud, bro. But whatever. Like, there's so much racism, not racism. There's race matters in that to me more than if I watch UFC, I guess. Because like if I watch UFC, like, I can think anybody's a badass, anybody's dope.
Yeah, but you don't hate the other.
But I don't hate them.
Yeah.
But I don't hate them.
I feel like.
But in boxing, if the Mexican guy's fighting, like I want him to win, and you know,
and that's just pride, bro.
Yeah. It's pride, I guess. But like,
I'm with you, man. Like anytime.
I'll call it pride, but it's blind pride. You know, like I don't give a shit.
Anytime there's a Hispanic fighting, I'm the same way, bro. Even though Hispanic fighters, like we've had cheaters before. I don't know if you've ever heard of Margarito. I guess he like stacked his gloves and shit. But anyways, I agree with you, man. Like anytime a Mexican is fighting, you have to root for him. It's like, you know, you wake up, you eat fucking tortillas with beans and rice, and your parents tell you, go for the Mexican in the boxing.
You can't be the guy at the party rooting for the other team, bro.
Yeah, you just get kicked out of the party.
Yeah, that's where you're gonna get bitch slapped by your parents or something, dude. No way.
All right.
Funny. Well, here's something else that I find interesting, right? The Dodgers just won the World Series, right? Big ups to the Dodgers, even though I don't watch baseball, I don't care. But the Lakers also won the NBA title, right?
Yep.
And that makes this city 2 titles, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
LA's on top of the fucking world right now. They're floating on clouds.
Hockey too, bro. I don't know. Last year they won.
There's a hockey team?
Yeah,
the Kings?
Yeah. That was pretty recent too. That's crazy.
So they won those 2, and I know they still got fucking soccer teams competing in the MLS. I don't know when hockey season is. No, I don't know who the fuck watches hockey.
Yeah,
but
nobody does.
But imagine if they win another title, bro.
They're gonna feel unstoppable. I mean, they pretty much were. Like the Lakers almost went for a sweep. The Dodgers kind of
they won in 6.
Yeah, but they're still pretty much ahead the entire time.
I think they both won in 6.
Yeah, they did. That's true. Yeah. That's fucking true.
But a lot of people are saying that, it's like a Kobe thing, There's a lot of like there's like a lot of big ups to Kobe, basketball. He's like, well, I don't know. What do they call it in basketball? The 11th man? The sixth man, I guess, like spiritually. Yeah. 5 on the court, 1 there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because don't get me wrong, LA had a great team this year.
No.
Stacked. It was hella stacked. I felt
like the Lakers or the Dodgers. What are we talking about?
Lakers. Yeah.
Dodgers, the Lakers had a good team, but I don't think anybody thought they were going to win it though this year.
Really?
But I felt like a lot of people thought that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like, there's people who are like petty, right? So the owner of not the owner. I don't know if he's the fucking owner, but Pat Riley, the guy who's like the general manager of the fucking Miami Heat, he said that like the Lakers thing will have an asterisk because of the way the year was, and he had injured players that played. And a lot of people were saying the Dodgers title is going to have an asterisk because they played half of a season and won the title, right? Compared to like what you would normally play in a year.
Yeah. Like, I don't even know the amount of games, but it's a shit ton.
In the MLB, it's a shit ton. It's like 100 or something, right? They go like 99 and 30 or some shit.
Yeah, they have like games
nothing against
every
baseball.
Other
it's just like too slow for me, man.
It is. But
there's just so little going on.
I have nothing against it either, but like
I'm a Dodgers fan just because I'm from LA.
Yeah,
but you can't appreciate the sport, right? Like I can't. If the dude throws a slider and I'm seeing it happen live, I can't appreciate that compared to his fastball because I have no idea, like, what it takes to get there, how it really was different. All I'm saying is the fucking ball go to the fucking catcher.
Yeah,
I'm way more intrigued by watching a guy throw a ball like 100 miles per hour than that for some reason.
Yeah,
I'm like, damn, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just think it's interesting. I hope they don't win another title, though. I think they're getting too much of an inflated ego, bro. I can't have, like, LAFC soccer team fucking win the MLS because then they're going to have 3 titles and I'm going to go to fucking California and there's going to be smug-ass people everywhere like, yeah, 3 title champs, fucking shirts with, like, those mixed shirts where it's going to be, like, a third Dodgers, a third Vela from LAFC, and then a third LeBron James.
Or Kobe Bryant.
Or Kobe. Yeah, fuck no, dude.
I don't know, man. I feel kind of weird with you saying that because I feel like winning an MLS title is like getting a participation trophy.
No, I think MLS is like the 4th biggest thing in the country now. Because like it used to be, you know how they'd say the 4 big sports were basketball, football, baseball, hockey, like NHL and NBA, all that shit.
I never heard that. Like I just always knew about the 3.
I never knew about
I think
hockey.
those are the 4, and I think hockey's getting edged out by MLS now.
Probably because there's a lot of stars coming to the MLS now.
Well, yeah, they bring in old ass stars, and then ticket sales go up, and people want to watch. Even I admit, I would want to go watch a retiring Messi or Ronaldo play in the MLS one day.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Because I'm never gonna fly to fucking Spain.
That's the only thing that attracts people, though. Because
the legends.
When I heard Zidane or who was it?
Zlatan.
Yeah, when I heard he was coming, like I just knew. I didn't really even know that player because I don't watch European soccer.
Yeah.
But I knew he was a cocky asshole because you can just tell by his face.
Dude, he's the shit, bro. I love him.
Dude, he's fucking hella cocky.
He had a recent quote. He was all like, Zlatan can survive Corona, but maybe everybody else should wear a mask.
Yeah.
It's the shit.
So much shit. Even when he was, because he left the MLS already, right?
Yeah.
He's like, he said something really cocky where like, the MLS needed me. I did not need them.
Yeah.
Bye.
He's dope, dude. I fucking loved him.
He's hardcore.
And it's true. MLS brings in names like that. But imagine if like fucking a city wins like 3 titles. Like that city's going to be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I think people were still partying in the streets for like the Dodgers and the Lakers.
The hardest fans in the MLS, I feel like are the Sanders.
Aren't the fucking Rams good right now too?
I don't know anything about football.
I don't know anything besides freaking Patriots, to be honest. That's all
I'm pretty sure the Rams are good right now too. So like imagine if like there was a Super Bowl brought to LA.
That'd be crazy, yeah. I don't know.
They'd be shitting themselves, bro.
Nah, the Bucks are still, as long as the Bucks are here, like I don't think anybody else is gonna win. And
the Bucks don't exist anymore.
I hate the Bucks. Dude.
They're the Tampa Bay Patriots.
Yeah, literally. That's what they are, yeah. It's crazy.
Oh man. All right, well, we got to cut to another ad break real quick.
All right.
All right, we're back, and it's time for the hypothetical moment. something we do at the end of every episode where we like to engage in hypothetical questions that make us think about shit we probably would never even think about doing.
Shit that'll probably never come up in our lives ever.
So random, but like we still have all these opinions on them.
Yeah. And I mean, it gets you thinking, man, like your critical thinking. Because I mean, while they probably won't happen, there's still a chance it could happen.
Yeah, it's like a brain exercise.
Yeah.
And I think they're fun as fuck.
They are, yep.
All right, so the hypothetical moment for this episode is, if you had to pick an extreme sport to try, which one and why?
It's a good one.
Who wants to go first?
Bro, I'll go ahead and go first. I got it already.
You got it already? You know what you're going to do? All right.
This is that my biggest fear in the world doesn't exist, which is heights.
Uh-huh. All right.
I would go skydiving.
Ooh.
Skydiving, and you mean skydiving just you, right? Not with the dude backpack.
Yeah, literally just skydiving myself. Like, I could see like me shitting or pissing myself coming down. Like if I did it now.
Yeah. I'm scared of heights too, so I can see it.
Like I am so scared of heights. Like even watching videos on YouTube of like people like off the ledge of something.
It'll give you like vertigo.
Like it freaks me out. Bro.
Really? Yeah. I can watch a video, but like if I was personally there, I'd probably be like, oh shit, what am I doing?
Yeah. Heights just freak me out. Like I hate going to the mall and walking by like the second floor railings.
Yeah.
Because I always look down and I'm like, fuck.
It's just like
I don't know why, man. And I've never had anything like traumatic happen to me, but I just feel like skydiving would be so much fun. Like you're literally just free falling, and you know there's a very high chance that you could die because your parachute doesn't work. I know they have backup parachutes, but even that
can sometimes not work.
Yeah. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's like if you hit the ground, you're done. So I mean, hopefully you don't feel anything.
Just in an instant.
Not alive, you know.
There's people who've survived it though, right? Yeah. Imagine that.
I always picture myself like if I was free falling, hopefully I'm next to water. But even if I go towards the water, like I heard when you hit water, you're hitting it like if you were hitting
like it was
concrete
concrete
or something. Yeah.
You know what I think of when I hear skydiving? Have you ever seen the old school Power Ranger movie? The very first
that's
one?
what I was thinking too.
Like the white Power
Turbo
Ranger.
Power Ranger movie?
No, the Mighty Morphin one.
Oh, okay.
At the very beginning, the very first scene, they all jump out of a plane and like,
he's got
they're in their colors, and he's got his snowboard on his feet.
Dude.
He's like doing flips and shit. And I was like, that looks dope.
I would want to do that.
Yeah,
sure.
that's what like
the snowboard thing
made that appealing to me. But then I was like, wait a minute, they're thousands of feet in the air. What if his snowboard fucking? I don't know.
Like broke or snapped.
I don't know. It just seemed like, oh shit. But it was cool as fuck to see in that movie.
Yeah. So skydiving was like my number one. A close number two was that squirrel suit.
Oh, like where they jump off of like really tall places and
the
they
fly
just go.
suits?
Yeah, I always thought that was crazy because a lot of the videos I watch, they're so close to the ground and they're going so fucking fast.
And they do it in unison. Have you seen like they do it in like lines of like 8 dudes?
Yeah.
8 dudes all fucking flying.
I've seen a bunch of guys like jump off, you know, like that's another thing where I'm like, damn, that's scary as hell, but also like that'd be so cool to do, you know. Yeah. I wonder what kind of training.
Why is it those two? Just because you want to like
it's the
overcome your fear?
Yeah, it's the heights thing for sure. Because I remember when we used to go to Twin Falls to play football games.
Right.
Going over that fucking bridge, I'd always close my eyes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the big ass bridge over the cliff.
The fuck out, bro. So yeah, I mean, just getting over the heights thing would be awesome, and like having that freeness, you know. Because the only other thing that I feel like compares to that freeness would be like
bungee
if
jumping.
I could hold my breath forever underwater or if I was in space, you know. Like,
okay.
So.
All right. So what are you thinking, David? What extreme sport tickles your fancy?
Extreme sport. Skydiving was pretty good. Honestly, like you said, thought of the movie Power Rangers because that was dope. Scene. I could see myself doing that like with a group though, like skydiving, doing all these like different like shapes and shit. Like I don't know if you've seen videos.
I've seen it. Yeah, they make the stars and like make circles so they can go through them and stuff. Yeah, I've seen that stuff.
That's pretty cool. But I think I might have to go with ice climbing, dude.
Ice climbing.
Yeah.
Like a more dangerous version of rock climbing.
Yeah, more dangerous. Because like one, I like the cold. Like I've been a fan of the cold. Just I don't know why, but I'm a hot individual myself. Like my temperature, I feel like
you run hot.
Yeah,
we're talking like freezer cold, right? You never been like in the Arctic, like
I've been in like negative 10 degrees.
Well, you're still gonna have like the gear though, right?
I'll have the gear and everything, but like I don't know, I just enjoyed the cold more.
That's pretty intense, bro. That's a good one.
Yeah, and like every time I think of like ice climbing, I think of like a Call of Duty game or like literally you're ice climbing a part of the wall, and I'm just like, dude, that'd be fucking dope because like I am afraid of heights. Like I've gone on planes, but even still, I'm just like shaking.
Right.
But
it's a pretty common fear, huh?
I think so.
Heights, yeah, it's pretty common. Like planes don't scare me, but
I've never been on a plane.
Roof scares me.
All right, so you want to like be able to trek up an ice wall?
Hell yeah, man! Like, and especially with those like tools, like those like spikes, those things like look really cool, and just like climbing. I like rock climbing in general too. Like, but I've never done it.
So what about it appeals to you the most, I guess? Why'd you pick that?
Just because of like one, the cold, and two, like the fact that I'd be able to see all these beautiful like areas.
That's true. Because if you're ice climbing, you're gonna see places that other people will not see.
Yeah. And that shit would look cool. I mean, I like watching and like looking at like the ice like coming down from like my roof of like that's frozen. That shit looks cool. And just imagine that like 20 stories tall and you're just gonna like climb it, like, oh yeah, no big deal. I'm just gonna climb that shit. I don't know. And like the height thing, I just would like to overcome that.
All right.
That's pretty
scenery
crazy.
Though.
The only two places I've ever seen ice climbing is in two fictional places. So one of them was like this Lara Croft game.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
And the second one was in this show I'm watching right now called Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Because they have a big wall that protects like the 7 kingdoms or whatever.
And someone climbs it.
And like there's these wildlings outside the wall and they start climbing it and shit. And you see all this crazy shit happen, right?
Yeah.
But there's even realistic parts to it because when he puts his freaking pick in one time, like the whole side of the wall breaks off. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It'd be so intense, yeah.
Do you have a close second, or was it just ice climbing that came to mind?
Ice climbing for sure came to mind, but skydiving as well is what came second because, like Pablo said, or actually no, the squirrel suit, because I've seen so many more videos of that, like just them going
that
so
one,
fast.
Out of the ones you guys have mentioned, like ice climbing and the squirrel suit thing, I think the one that would freak me out the most is the jumping off with the fucking flight suit thing.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know how that works. Like, do you have to be like this the whole time? What if I like move my arm in and then I start barrel rolling into the fucking mountain?
You fucking get a cramp or something?
Yeah, dude. Fuck that, bro.
I've seen a lot of videos of that, and I've seen people like crash along like trees and shit. I'm just like, oh god, that's so scary. But for sure, I'm gonna have to go with ice climbing because
it's crazy too. Because like out of everything we mentioned so far, the most attainable one is the skydiving. You know, because you can go somewhere here to like one of those little crappy airports.
Yeah.
And pay somebody some money to skydive.
Well, I think it's the easiest to learn. I mean, I'm not in the like those kinds of sport realm, right? I don't do action sports, extreme sports, but it's the most accessible, right?
Yeah,
because like you need real skill to climb a fucking ice wall.
But in this situation, obviously, it's hypothetical, so resources are not a concern.
Yeah, it's just this is just if I woke up one day and was like, "Fuck yeah!" All of a sudden, I can do triple backflips on this fucking motorcycle.
I'm a fucking ice climber.
All right, so the one I thought of. And I don't know. I have a different reason for. I feel like you guys just came a little bit from like something that you could never do because of the height, you know. So it's like something you wish you could do.
Yeah.
I had 2 different thoughts. First, surfing, but like the guys who surf like the 50-foot, 70-foot waves. You know?
The ones that break the record.
Yeah, bro. They're gonna call me Gerald Tsunami.
Fuck that. Not the calling you Gerald Tsunami. You know, if you want to be called that.
Doing it, right?
Yeah.
I want to do that because it just seems like something out of my element. So only few people even have like places to do that. I got to go to like specific beaches to do this. And I've never even surfed. I've snowboarded. I've been on longboards and stuff, but I've never like surfed. And even if I did, it would never be at the capacity of like 80-foot wave, 50-foot wave. It'd be like, here's this little small 3-foot wave at Santa Monica that I probably fell off of.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it'd be dope as fuck to be able to do that just because there's like a sense of like conquering a natural element. You know, they're throwing the biggest wave at you that you can. And you're like, fuck that, bro. Check me out. Do a little spin in the wave and then just keep going, run my hand through the water.
Mother Earth is like, here, take this, bitch. And you're like, I'm gonna ride that motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mother Earth is like, whoa, what you gonna do? Step up. Here's the wave. And I'm like, this is Gerald Tsunami you're looking at, bro. Fuck you think this is?
Then the wave fucking eats you, you die, and they find your body 3 days later.
Okay. But I'm smiling. And then
that always freaks me out, bro. I don't know if it's like part of the heights thing, but like it's just like supernatural, you know, to me. Like because when I first saw the ocean was a couple years ago. I went to Santa Monica.
Oh, okay.
And it looked like the fucking water was like over the city. It was weird. And supernaturalness of it.
Well, it's huge.
Like freaky. Bro.
It does give you perspective when you see the ocean. You see the ocean and you're like, wow, it really is like huge, gigantic, enormous.
And you swim and you taste that shit and it's salty and you're like, fuck.
All right. And then something else that I thought of that was a close second for me was like cave exploration.
All right.
Right. And I don't know if you would consider it a sport, but like, you know how there's those people who like, they'll go through the smallest crevice of a cave to like find deeper parts of a cave to like explore these giant underground or in mountains and shit.
Like temples and shit, or just like try to find different
shit. Like straight up caves. Cause you know, there's cave diving.
Yeah.
And you can like dive and like explore underneath parts of the caves that you wouldn't be able to unless you had the scuba gear and shit.
Yeah.
That seems like it would be something super dope to do. But I've also seen videos of like a guy who was exploring a cave that's already been explored, obviously, but like he went through to look for himself and he gets stuck going through a part that hasn't been mapped out and he dies because like you're stuck in like the smallest little space you're crammed into, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think it takes like a certain kind of balls to like
just go through that small ass
like you're underneath, you know, I don't know where you're at, but like you're just underneath the crust of the world. You know, you're not on land. You're underneath exploring these things where I don't know what you could find down there. Some fucking fish that no one's ever seen because it's in the fucking darkness of a cave.
Yeah.
So weird question. When you're saying like cave exploring, it's like caves that have not been in.
It's like, okay, so there's caves that have been explored, right? But they have certain sections where like they haven't
been explored.
Yeah. Like it's considered too deep or you need specific professionals, you know, to go in there and look at shit. So like, I would want to be one of those kinds of professionals. That's like, oh, you know what I do for fun is I fucking go dig through these caves or not dig, but like
you go
traverse the caves and map them out and shit.
When you said that, what came to mind was like that whole story. And I think it was Venezuela where that whole soccer team got caught in that cave.
Oh, okay.
And they had to go be saved. Like, that's kind of freaky because that cave had been explored a lot. You know, it was like a tourist location. And then they ended up getting fucking trapped. And I don't know if you guys ever heard about that story, but it took like divers like 3 hours to go one way or something. It was
because they had to go a separate way from what the entrance usually is.
Yeah. Because what happened was it rained a lot, so it got them stuck in the cave. It was crazy.
And even to save them, I'm sure they had to bring in like gear and then bring them out like one at a time.
Yeah,
right?
one at a time, and they had to like sedate them almost. They had to give them like meds to calm because they're going to be underwater for a long time. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude, that's like extreme. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's so extreme to even put yourself in that situation.
Yeah,
but if I can just fucking wake up one day and I'm able to do it, it's like that would be cool as fuck to do.
That'd be intense. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, every time I think about that, it's just like scary as fuck. Like I think I might be claustrophobic. Shit, just like
I think everybody's a little bit claustrophobic.
Just like being really close and like closed off areas.
Because think about like, the people who have like claustrophobia. I feel like they're a small space, like a normal small space will fuck them up, right? Yeah. But like someone like us who doesn't have claustrophobia, but I'm sure if they put me in this fucking box where my movements are constrained, I'd be like, all right, I'm fucking freaking out.
Yeah.
Why am I in here?
And then this is like in the dark, underwater as well. So it's like adding on.
That's what it's about, like, David, pushing your limits.
Yeah, but have you seen the YouTube videos, dude? It looks fucking cool.
Yeah. I've seen like all the like.
The ones that look cool to me is where like it's a big cave space and you just see these small people with like a headlight on.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy, man.
That's a good one.
That is a good one, yeah.
It's different from ours for sure.
Yeah, those were my first thoughts.
Instead of going up, you're like going down. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because I don't know, in my personal life, I feel like I can attain skydiving. I feel like I'm going to do it eventually.
Yeah.
Right?
But this is...
I know for sure I'm never going to do it.
I would want to. Don't think I would ever do it.
But you want to?
But I would want to, yeah.
All right, well, that was the hypothetical. We all chose pretty diverse sports. What were you guys' again?
No, skydiving and bat suits.
And then mine was...
bat suits? I like how you have a different animal name for it. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they're
called. It's like, I don't know what it's actually called.
Because bats have like a... Webbing.
Yeah. All right. And then you went.
Mine was ice climbing, and then either skydiving or bat seats too.
Yeah.
No, sorry. There's a thought in my head. I called it a squirrel suit.
Yeah, you called it.
Like a flying
I thought it looked like a flying squirrel.
I thought the next time you brought it up, you were gonna be like, "Oh, the moose suit."
Flying rat
throwing out animals.
Flying rat suit.
But for me, it was cave exploration / like diving, I guess, because that's how you do it. And surfing, but like dope ass surfing, like
intense
like
surfing.
50 foot waves. They're
trying to break records.
Yeah, Gerald Tsunami shit, bro.
I feel like you just watched Johnny Tsunami. That's
no, it's just like the coolest nickname you can have in the surfing world. What else? What's more extreme than the tsunami?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Damn. Well,
unless you think you're godly, then you can be like Gerald Poseidon.
That one's cool.
Something like that. But that concludes the episode. Look us up on Facebook, Instagram. Where else are we?
We're on Apple Music, Spotify.
Or on Apple Podcast, not Apple Music.
Oh, Apple Podcast. Sorry.
Spotify, Google Podcast, and then all the smaller places too, like Anchor, Pocket Casts.
Yeah,
like
if I gotta say anything, just share.
Yeah, bro. Do the same thing as last episode. Fucking listen to it and then tell a friend to listen to it. And if they say no, you slap them in the face and make them listen to it.
Yeah.
All right. Special guest David was here. I've known David for I don't know how long now. 4 years, 5 years, 6 years?
Since 2012, man.
Yeah, 8 years now I know David, and he's looked the same the whole time.
Thanks.
Yeah, and if you're Latinos for Trump, hit him up.
No,
yeah, don't do that. If you're Latinos for Trump, hit him up.
I'm not all about that.
He's going to write a song. He's going to do a cover of Hit 'Em Up by Tupac. He's going to call it Latinos for Trump, Hit 'Em Up.
He's going to do a cover of Despacito, call it Trumpito.
All right, peace.
Peace.